Right friends, welcome back to Q&A discussion. This is 28th session and please look at the first question. With regard to long-term irrigation fund, I framed these questions to have clarity of mind at the last moment. So that's why I am giving all these questions for the known things to have clarity of mind at the last moment. LTIF, long-term irrigation fund, is used for taking care of entire fund requirements of central government, but not for the states. States may put their demand, depending on their demand, LTIF funds will be utilized, but strictly speaking, this entire fund requirements of the central government will be looked after by LTIF. This is long-term irrigation fund maintained by NABARD. So, what I want to tell you is, please correct the first one. First one is to take care of the fund requirements of center only. States requirement will be met depending on the demand. So, first sentence is wrong. Second one is for central share, National Water Development Agency. Please have clarity about this. National Water Development Agency. This is the society registered under the Societies Act, would borrow funds from LTIF, and here the loans provided through the long-term irrigation fund of NABARD will charge 6% interest rates over a period of 15 years, right? And the projects are to be completed by December 19. There are 99 identified projects are there. So, 2, 3, 4 are correct. 1 is wrong. Please correct the first sentence. Which of the following is incorrectly matched? Open sky policy. This is quite often in the news. Open sky policy is for aviation sector. That means allowing the flights from one region to other region. That is open sky policy. You can say that is internationally. Then offset policy. That means under defense procurement procedure, certain percentage of the procurement from foreign countries is to be manufactured or assembled in our country. So, this is offset policy. Then 5/25 scheme, this was devised by Reserve Bank of India around 2 to 3 years ago. This is extending loans for long term, that means up to 25 years with the option of refinancing once in 5 years for infrastructure sector as well as core industry sector in the banking system. So, 1, 2, 3 correct, 4th one is wrong. Fixed term employment is for textile sector. So, D is the wrong option. Look at the following sentences with regard to National Civil Aviation Policy. Here, no frills airports will be developed at unserved, underserved locations at a cost ranging from rupees 50 crore to rupees 100 crore, absolutely correct. Second one is absolutely wrong. The entire viability gap funding is to be shared by 80-20 ratio for normal states, 80% center, 20% states. So, second sentence, please correct. 5/20 scheme was liberalized. This 5/20 scheme pertaining to aviation sector, this was liberalized, and the airlines can now commence international operations. 5 years was literally taken out, and here the airlines can now commence international operations provided they deploy at least 20% of total capacity for domestic operations. One point is missing here, at least 20, minimum 20 aircraft or 20% of the total capacity for domestic operations. So, third one is also wrong, right? So, here first one is only correct. Next one is indigenously designed, developed and manufactured platform, popularly known as IDDM platform, is the core essence of Defense Procurement Policy 2016. And look at the following sentences. First one is for domestic companies to be eligible under IDDM platform, one condition is it should have majority Indian control and at the same time to be operated by Indian nationals only. So, this is the first condition for IDDM platform. Second one is for domestic design. If the domestic design is there, 40% domestic content is mandatory, whereas in case the design is not Indian, at least 60% should be domestic content. So both are correct. So please have clarity about this IDDM under Defense Procurement Policy 2016. Then pick up the incorrect one. If you look at GST Council, it is the joint forum of center and the states, absolutely correct. Every decision of GST Council to be taken by a majority not less than 3/4 of the weighted votes. Please correct this. Not less than 3/4 of the weighted votes of the members present and voting. Then C and D are correct. The vote share of center is 1/3, the vote share of state governments put together is 2/3, and at least 1/2 of the total members constitute the quorum of GST Council. GST Council is headed by the Finance Minister. It is constitutional body. These things please don't forget. Look at the following with regard to Kaladan Multimodal Transit Transport Project. Through Myanmar, it passes through Myanmar and it reaches Mizoram. Directly it reaches Mizoram and subsequently you can go anywhere, but the point to note here is through Myanmar this Kaladan multimodal project reaches Mizoram. So first one is wrong. Then Sitwe is the seaport. It is situated in Myanmar. Second one is also wrong. It involves multimodal transport through sea, road as well as through river. So 3 only correct. Which of the following is incorrectly matched? Marrakesh, it is into the news because of Marrakesh Visually Impaired Persons Treaty, that is in Morocco. And Aleppo, Aleppo is into the news for several times during the year. It is in Syria because of the fight between government forces and opposition forces. Aleppo is into the news. Then Kigali, because of Kigali Pact, it is into the news. It is in Rwanda, Africa. Then Palmyra, Palmyra is a World Historic Site and it was decimated by Islamic State and it is in Syria. So here incorrect matching is Palmyra. Please correct, Palmyra is in Syria, right? Surrogacy is quite often in the news, and look at the following sentences. Surrogacy is when a woman carries a baby for another couple and gives up baby after birth. And India plans to abolish commercial surrogacy and allow only altruistic surrogacy. What is the meaning of altruistic surrogacy? Altruistic surrogacy involves no monetary compensation. No money is to be paid except for medical expenses and insurance coverage during pregnancy, right? So India is planning to abolish commercial surrogacy and planning to introduce altruistic surrogacy. All 3 are correct, right? Next one is alternative investment schemes are quite often in the news, and look at the following sentences. They can only be debt instruments, absolutely wrong. And this alternative investment schemes, or you can say when alternative investment funds are financing these startups, then the mechanism or the structure or the relationship can be something different. So first one is wrong. Angel investments, venture capital investments are categorized under alternative investment funds. Absolutely correct. At present, majority of the funding under alternative investment funds is provided by domestic investors is absolutely wrong. At present, majority of the venture capital funding, which is otherwise known as alternative investment funding, is coming from foreign countries. Please don't forget. Then, which of the above is are correct? So, second only is correct. Please correct 1 and 3. Then, most of the double taxation avoidance agreement protocols have grandfathering clause. Quite often we come across this grandfathering. What is the meaning of grandfathering? The meaning is the investments made prior to the implementation of new amendment will be taxed at the old rates even though the transactions takes place after the implementation of a new protocol. So, let us assume the double taxation avoidance agreement amendment protocol came into force from April 1, 2017. if some investment was made in 2016 and if the same shares are sold in 2018, then the old taxation rates will apply. That is known as this grandfathering clause, or you can say, in other words, the provisions are on prospective basis for the new investments only, and retrospectively they will not be applicable, and for the investments made prior to the date of implementation, the protocol will be the old protocol only when the sale takes place after the implementation of new protocol. So, this is all about grandfathering clause. Then look at the following sentences with regard to sovereign gold bond scheme. These are issued by RBI, please correct. Sovereign gold bonds are issued by Reserve Bank of India on behalf of Government of India. Please correct the first sentence. These can be used for collateral security and tradable in stock exchanges also. Absolutely correct. The primary aim is to reduce gold imports, which will ultimately have positive impact on our balance of payments position. Absolutely correct. Then FASTag is unveiled by the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. What is meant by FASTag? It is nothing but electronic toll plazas. It is for hassle-free movement of vehicles at toll plazas. They need not stop. Electronically, through the radio frequency identification technology, money will be deducted. What is required is the vehicles must have RFID tags, right? So, all three correct. Then let us look at the next one. Investor-state dispute settlement is quite often in the news, and it is coming in the way of bilateral investment treaties. And look at the following sentences. It gives special rights, or you can say it gives special legal rights to those who invest in a foreign country. If this bilateral investment treaty includes investor-state dispute settlement mechanism, it gives a legal right for the foreign investors when they are investing in our country to sue the host country government before a panel of arbitrators when they perceive lapses in the domestic procedures. So, this is all about investor-state dispute settlement. A question is expected. Investor-state dispute settlement is holding up several bilateral investment treaties. Please keep in mind. So, here both are correct. Swayam is the study webs of active learning from young aspiring minds is quite often in the news, and look at the following sentences. Please correct the first one. Microsoft is the technical partners for Swayam. Please correct the first one. Microsoft is the technical partner for Swayam. It is monitored by the Ministry of Human Resource and Development. Swayam is the massive online open courses platform for anytime, anywhere learning. So, 2 and 3 correct here. Then look at the following sentences with regard to program Kayakalp. This is monitored by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. By looking at different parameters, the awards are being given to categories of various hospitals in the country. So, this is the main purpose of Kayakalp. Basically, it is to supplement the efforts of Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. So, it is monitored by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. By looking at different parameters like sanitation, hygiene, infection control, waste management, awards are being given for different categories of hospitals across the country, and it supplements the efforts of Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. Then look at the following sentences with regard to Ujala. Most important thing, it is the largest non-subsidized LED program in the world. EESL procures LED bulbs in large quantities for distribution to consumers through state distribution companies, and EESL is the joint venture company of PSUs under the Ministry of Power. So, all three correct. Then find the odd one out. Bharat Quick Response Code or Bharat QR Code, Bhim Aadhaar Pay, POS machines. These three are specifically meant for merchants. Please keep in mind, Bharat QR Code, Bhim Aadhaar Pay, POS machines. These three are meant for merchants, where Bhim mobile app is for anyone, right? Then Aadhaar Pay was launched by the government, and look at the following sentences. Smartphone is required to carry out the cashless transaction. Absolutely wrong. Smartphone is not required to carry out the cashless transaction through Aadhaar Pay. What is required is your fingerprint, which acts as the password and which is used to authenticate the transaction. So, with the fingerprint, transaction can be concluded. Your Aadhaar number is enough. So, it is interoperable banking software application. So, the first sentence is wrong. Smartphone is not mandatory to carry out the cashless transaction. 2 and 3 correct. Look at the next one. Look at the following sentences with regard to National Apprenticeship Promotion Scheme. Central government will share 25% of the cost of the stipend. Absolutely correct. Central government will also bear 50% of the total expenditure incurred by the firms on providing basic training, and the aim is to develop 50 lakh apprentices by 2019-20. So, 1 and 2 correct. 3 is wrong. Accordingly, the aim is to develop 50 lakh apprentices by 2019-20. Please correct the third sentence. Last one, identify the incorrect one. The nodal authority for National Intellectual Property Rights Policy. Government unveiled National Intellectual Property Rights Policy, and the nodal authority is Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion, Ministry of Commerce and Industry. This is absolutely correct. National Investment Fund, where the proceeds of disinvestment will go into National Investment Fund. This is shifted to Department of Economic Affairs during the year. Then Public Debt Management Cell is established with the Department of Economic Affairs, Ministry of Finance. Ultimately, the goal is to head towards Public Debt Management Agency. As an interim measure, Public Debt Management Cell is established in the Budget Division of Department of Economic Affairs, Ministry of Finance. Then Foreign Investment Promotion Board is going to be abolished, and at present it is under the Department of Economic Affairs. Right. So, this is the incorrect one. So, these are very important from examination perspective. Right, friends, this concludes the 28th Q&A session. 2 more will be uploaded tomorrow and the day after. Have a nice day. Thank you.